Welcome to this episode of the WickerShire. It's a doozy. We got a lot of things to show and discuss with you guys. Jalapenos.
Bugs and slugs, bugs and slugs, bugs and slugs.
Today we're going to be seed starting, releasing Shire secrets, things that we have in the great book of the Shire, things I've learned over the years from you guys and from other gardeners, things that are perennials and perennial substitutes. So yeah, let's dive into that. We really have a pen and a paper as we go through this. We're going to split it up, a lot of difference between starting seeds in trays, stuff you just have to plant outdoors, seeds that should be direct sown. Bought our little seed trays. These approximately have 72 peat pellets in them, so kind of nice if you didn't want to pick up a bag of seed starting mix. We also have the natural and organic Jiffy seed starting mix. It was inexpensive, so there's no soil in that. It's inert. Don't use soil when you start with your seeds. It's just too much, and disease and fungus and anything that might be creepy crawling around in there that your baby vegetable seeds just don't like. We also picked up another 72 cell deep seed tray. That's where you're going to put your seed starting mix into, and these seed cells are approximately like 3.5 inches deep. You want the really super deep ones. Now, of course, we're in 7A. It is encroaching mid-February. Let's start out with some of the plants that we missed out on starting that we could probably start now, but we're very late on them. Those two things would be rosemary and celery. Yeah, so for 7A, if you didn't start that already, you're in trouble. You're really late on that stuff. Should have been done sometime in January. Celery and rosemary is a very slow-growing variety. It takes forever. On an earlier video, we talked about frost-tolerant plants, cold-tolerant plants, and warm varieties of seeds that there's a difference between the three of them. There really is. Some things can handle frost, some things are cold temperature and do not handle frost, and some things that just love warm soil. We're talking 70 degrees to 90, somewhere in there. Most of your plants will germinate. Having a heat mat indoor does help get your seeds started. Just to go over a quick list of seeds that should be direct sown. That would be including asparagus, beets, carrots, cilantro. You're going to want your corn, dill, lots of the dried beans, fava beans, green beans, onion sets, peas, potatoes, radishes, salsify, sweet potatoes, turnips, and all your squashes. But every one on that list has to be direct sown out in the soil. Don't start them in the seed trays. Things that you can start in the seed trays right now for 7A in mid-February. It's going to be arugula, basil, bell peppers, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, chives, your eggplants, your jalapenos, kale, kohlrabi, leeks, lettuce, oregano, parsley, sage, Swiss chard, thyme. Can be started right now. Bok choy, collards, spinach, tomatillos. There. Things that are going to be started in March. Somewhere in March, towards the middle or towards the end of March, that you want to get seed started in these trays for 7A. Are going to include on this list would be your cantaloupes, your cucumbers, your okra, your pumpkins, your watermelon, zucchini, and summer squashes. That can be planted into your seed trays. That's pretty much a lot of your annual stuff that'll be grown and started, whether it needs to be started inside the seed trays or needs to be started direct outdoor. What if you're like me? What if you're a lazy gardener? We got a section for you guys, things that you're going to want to know. For a lot of you guys, you already know that fruit trees and nut trees, they're perennial. You plant them, once they're in the ground, they're good to go. All kinds of berry bushes. You plant them in the garden, they come up every year. That's pretty lazy. There are things on that list that we will add to that. This is where it gets interesting. Perennials you didn't know about. We all know about the 2 to 3 year plan of planting asparagus and having a bed set up for those. That's fantastic. You should plant asparagus. Comes up every year after the second or third year, and you'll just have a nice asparagus crop waiting for you. Horseradish. Jerusalem artichokes, otherwise known as a sunchoke. Otherwise known as a weed. Yeah, somewhere up in New Hampshire, I'm pretty sure all you people that live up there in that northern part of the hemisphere are hating sun artichokes. One of the major ones that we see, it might be considered a poisonous plant. That's the green leaves, but the red stalks are edible, is going to be your rhubarb. It comes up every year. It's huge. It takes up a lot of room, so you should have a lot of space for it. Famous one that most people plant in pots, chives. That's a good one. Now, shockingly, here it is, basil. Oh, you didn't know about basil. Most of your basil is an annual. What about the perennial ones? Perennial basil, if you're looking for it, you have to look for African blue. Or the East Indian type. Yeah, those are perennials. How cool is that? You can have basil that's a perennial. Fennel, garlic, sow it in the winter, split it up, replant. But garlic is considered a perennial. Fennel, garlic, ginger, lavender, bee balm, lemon balm, definitely your mint. I'm not sure if spearmint's included in that, but I'm going to say yeah, it's a mint. Onions. Onions are a biannual, but there are perennial types. You'd have to find them. So those would be shallots, Egyptian onions. I don't know if that's walking onions or not, but Egyptian onions are on that list. Japanese bunching, a perennial, and your Welsh and Chinese leeks. There you go. Oregano, parsley, rosemary, sage, thyme, a lot of herbs, perennials. Broccoli, yeah, there are broccoli types that are perennials, and that would be the 9-star. The purple cape. Rashido. There are some spinach types that are also perennial. You're going to have to search for them. You have to dig really hard. Ciso. And New Zealand. And we happen to have New Zealand here at the property. So that's kind of great. I have a perennial that I can plant, set, forget about. It's going to come up every year. So I'm going to have to mark those pots when we put them in there. As a perennial, I'll put like an asterisk or a star or a check mark, meaning it's good to go for next year. You know, it's just one of those things that just comes up. Sweet potatoes and yams, they're perennial. So if you're going to harvest whatever's left over, the little ugly ones you don't like, stick them back in the ground, cover them over, leave them, forget about them. Let them grow. There's also a thing called tree cabbage. With that is a tree collard. Those are perennials. Wasabi. If you can get your hands on it. I thought it was illegal in the States, but apparently you can get your hands on wasabi. So if you can get seeds, wasabi seeds, it's that hot stuff that goes with a lot of your sushi. Watercress. Watercress is a perennial. So I hope that helped out a few of you on knowing some different things that you get away with. So substitutes from growing your regular basil, just getting that African blue or that East Indian basil in. Yeah, you got yourself a nice little perennial. Things that we're going to plant in March. Cantaloupes, our cucumbers, our okra, our pumpkins, and our watermelons, and our zucchinis, and our squashes. So those aren't going in anytime soon. We're gonna have to wait a month and then get those in. Little white netting that it's covered in. Do you guys know what that is? That is made from a cornstarch. So it's biodegradable. We got 6 rows in the 72 cell. They gave us 6 little name tags for growing each row out. And then they gave us what's called Super Thrive. It's like an electrolyte for your seedlings once they get their second set of leaves. I'll use some electrolytes. I said I was going to do some planting today, but again, I am a procrastinator and lazy gardener. And I helped Gail, and I did a bunch of research, and I was on a bunch of your guys' lives. And it absorbed some of my day. And due to my back conditions, I've got about 20 minutes on my feet. I'm going to end up going back in the house and editing this video and getting it out to you. Huge shout out to Becoming a Green Stalker, Heidi. So this on one of my lives I was showing you, it is just the first seed bank that we mixed in and blended in. And I thought we were good for the year because we got lots of things. We asked for candy roasted squashes. We got lots and lots of seeds in here. You know, that's enough for a couple of market gardens to get started. And then she gave us the big hookup here. It's just a lot of stuff. It's a lot of stuff. It really is. And some freaky things. Yeah. There's a cactus. I don't know if I can show that on camera. Yeah. Cactus. Who grows cactuses? These aren't your regular. It is medium size. Like 16-ounce cups. These things are huge. So we got 400 of these in the house. So maybe I'll start my, due to the cottage laws here in Tennessee, I think we'll do our seed starts and make some money back to help support my own channel. I should be donating to myself. Backyard, we're still having trouble with. It's a lot of work to get that set up. We're looking online. There are 10 feet by 30 foot. I think they're $10 a piece on Amazon. It's the bug netting. So if you're going to grow any of your leafy greens, such as your collard, your cabbages, your lettuces, those kind of things are going to get attacked out here. As soon as it warms up and those bugs come in, it's going to wipe out your crop. And it's kind of heartbreaking when you're struggling to get all these wonderful organic things grown so you have healthy food. Our go-to channel that we're watching this year, he's in zone 4A, Mike's Chaotic Garden. We'll be watching him all year. Zone 4A is a nightmare. It's cold. I think he's in Minnesota. Who moves to Minnesota? You've got to be, right? That's why it's Mike's Chaotic Gardening. He's got a short little grow season. So if he grows anything, if he can do it, we can do it. So we're going to be watching that channel. If you guys are interested in flowers, Shire is not the place you want to be. We'll grow them. We'll try. We know some flowers do well here. You're going to check out Brampton Gardener. Right here, the Brampton Gardener. That's Rochelle. She's growing up in Canada. She's our flower lady. The other thing is about those seed banks that we want to put together and ship out is why I'm doing my starts. I'm going to sell them in those cups. Is I need to get the funds to mail stuff out. I got some freaky looking melons coming along. So we're going to grow those, save seeds. 7A is a long grow season, so we're going to have at least the whole year to do it. So thanks for watching the WickerShire project. We'll catch you guys on the next one. Grow big, plant, or go hungry. So that is where you're going to put your potting, your perennial brazel, whatever hits the fan. Helicopters. And let's get to it. Stupid.
Bugs and slugs, bugs and slugs, bugs and slugs.